The early morning fog clung to Leimert Park, casting an eerie silence over the neighborhood. The mist seemed to wrap itself around the trees and benches, creating an almost otherworldly atmosphere. It was the kind of morning where the world felt suspended in time, where every sound was muffled, and every movement seemed to be in slow motion. A young mother pushing a stroller along the sidewalk noticed something strange in the vacant lot, something white, something out of place. She squinted, trying to make sense of the anomaly. It was unusual for anything to be in that lot, let alone something that starkly contrasted with the green grass and brown earth. Curiosity overriding caution, she steered the stroller closer. Her heart began to race as she approached, a sense of dread building with each step. The closer she got, the more she could make out the shape. It wasn't just a piece of trash or a discarded item, it was something far more sinister. Her heart leaped into her throat. She could now see it clearly. It was a body. Her mind struggled to process the sight before her. The sheer horror of it made her feel as though the ground had been pulled out from under her. It was a body, cut in half, a woman. The gruesome sight was almost too much to bear. The body lay there, lifeless and exposed, a stark reminder of the fragility of life. The woman's face was frozen in a final expression of terror, her eyes wide open as if still seeing the horror that had befallen her. Her skin, unnaturally pale, seemed to glow in the morning light. Panic seized her. She screamed. The sound was raw and primal, a desperate cry for help in the face of unimaginable horror. It echoed through the park, shattering the morning's eerie silence. The stroller rolled away, forgotten. In her shock and terror, she had let go of the handle, and it now moved slowly down the sidewalk, a silent witness to the horror that had just been discovered. Her cries pierced the quiet morning, bringing residents out of their homes. One by one, doors opened, and curious, concerned faces appeared. The tranquility of the neighborhood was shattered as people rushed to see what had caused such a commotion. Soon, a crowd gathered, buzzing with fear and morbid curiosity. Whispers spread through the group like wildfire, each person trying to piece together what had happened. The air was thick with tension and unease, as the reality of the situation began to sink in. The police arrived, their faces grim. They moved quickly to secure the area, their expressions a mix of shock and determination. This was not the kind of scene they were used to dealing with, and it showed in their every movement. They had never seen anything like it. The brutality of the crime was beyond anything they had encountered before. It was clear that this was no ordinary murder. The officers exchanged glances, each one silently acknowledging the gravity of the situation. This was no ordinary murder. This was something different, something terrifying. The officers began to piece together the evidence, their minds racing with questions. Who could have done this? And why? The answers seemed elusive, hidden in the shadows of the early morning fog, something the press would soon dub the Black Dahlia. The name would become synonymous with one of the most infamous unsolved murders in history, a dark chapter that would haunt the city for decades to come. News of the gruesome discovery spread like wildfire. The victim, a young woman with striking dark hair and blue eyes, quickly captured the city's imagination. The press, hungry for a story, dubbed her the Black Dahlia, a nickname inspired by a popular film noir thriller. The name stuck, forever linking the victim to the darkness and glamour of Hollywood. But behind the sensationalized headlines lay a tragic story. The Black Dahlia was more than just a nickname. She was a real person with a name, Elizabeth Short. And her life, cut tragically short, was a complex tapestry of dreams, disappointments, and a burning desire for stardom. Elizabeth Short, known to her friends as Beth, was a small-town girl with big dreams. She was born on July 29, 1924, in the quaint town of Hyde Park, Massachusetts. From a young age, Beth was captivated by the allure of Hollywood and the glamorous life it promised. Her friends and family often remarked on her striking beauty and magnetic personality, traits that she hoped would one day make her a star. Born in Massachusetts, she spent her teenage years moving from place to place with her mother, dreaming of a life on the silver screen. Her father had left the family when she was just a child, and her mother struggled to make ends meet. Despite the hardships, Beth remained optimistic and determined. She often participated in local beauty pageants and school plays, showcasing her talent and ambition. With her stunning looks and captivating charm, she seemed destined for Hollywood. Her friends would often say that she had a certain star quality that couldn't be ignored. Beth would spend hours in front of the mirror, practicing her poses and perfecting her smile, dreaming of the day she would see her name in lights. At 22, she arrived in Los Angeles, determined to make her mark. The city was a bustling hub of activity, filled with aspiring actors and actresses all vying for their chance at fame. Beth was no different. She was ready to take on any challenge that came her way. She found a small apartment and began to immerse herself in the Hollywood scene. She frequented the nightclubs and cafes on the Sunset Strip, her beauty and ambition drawing attention wherever she went. The nightlife was vibrant and full of opportunities to network with industry insiders. Beth would often be seen mingling with producers, directors, and other actors, always with a hopeful glint in her eye. She knew that every connection she made could be a step closer to her dream. She posed for photographers, hoping to be discovered. Each photo shoot was a chance to showcase her versatility and range as an actress. She would often spend hours perfecting her look, ensuring that every detail was just right. The photographers were captivated by her natural beauty, and the camera loved her, but the big break she yearned for remained elusive. She went to auditions, yearning for her big break. The competition was fierce, and rejection was a common occurrence. Yet, Beth remained undeterred. She would often spend her days going from one casting call to another, always with the hope that the next audition would be the one that changed her life. Her resilience and determination were truly remarkable. But Hollywood, a city of broken dreams, proved to be a harsh mistress. The glitz and glamour often masked a darker reality, one where dreams were frequently shattered. Despite her best efforts, Beth found herself struggling to break through. The city that had once seemed so full of promise now felt like an endless maze of disappointment. Yet, even in the face of adversity, she never lost sight of her dream. On January 9, 1947, Elizabeth Short vanished. She was last seen alive at the Biltmore Hotel, a glamorous landmark in downtown Los Angeles. Witnesses reported seeing her talking to a man in the lobby, but their descriptions varied, adding to the mystery. Where was she going? Who was she meeting? The answers, lost to time, fueled endless speculation. Did she leave willingly with someone she knew? Was she lured away under false pretenses? Or did a stranger, lurking in the shadows of the city, snatch her away from the bright lights and promise of fame? Section 5. A Mother's Anguish. Thousands of miles away in Massachusetts, Phoebe Short received a phone call that shattered her world. Her daughter Elizabeth was dead. The news, delivered with cold efficiency, sent shockwaves through her. The details, too gruesome to comprehend, only amplified her grief. The police, desperate for leads, questioned Phoebe about Elizabeth's life in Los Angeles. They hoped to uncover a connection, a motive, anything that could lead them to the killer. But Phoebe, still reeling from the shock, could offer little help. Her daughter's killer remained a phantom, his motives as elusive as the fog that had shrouded Elizabeth's final moments. Section 6. The investigation begins. The LAPD launched a full-scale investigation, determined to bring the killer to justice. The city, gripped by fear and fascination, followed every twist and turn of the case. Detectives scoured Elizabeth Short's past, interviewing friends, acquaintances, and anyone who might have crossed her path. They chased down every lead, no matter how improbable. But the investigation was hampered by dead ends and conflicting information. The killer, a ghost in the City of Angels, seemed to have vanished without a trace. The more they investigated, the more elusive the truth became. Theories about the Black Dahlia's murder ran rampant, fueled by the city's insatiable appetite for scandal and intrigue. Was it a crime of passion, committed by a jealous lover? Was it the work of a sexual sadist, taking pleasure in the macabre? Or was there a darker, more sinister motive at play? The press, eager to sell papers, published every rumor and speculation, blurring the lines between fact and fiction. The public, captivated by the mystery, devoured every detail, their imaginations running wild. Everyone had a theory. Everyone was an armchair detective. Just when the investigation seemed to be at a standstill, a chilling development sent shockwaves through the case. A package arrived at the Los Angeles Examiner, addressed to the editor. Inside, a letter, composed of words and letters cut from newspapers, taunted the police and claimed responsibility for the murder. "Here is Dahlia's belongings," the letter read. "Letter to follow." It was signed, simply, "The Avenger of the Black Dahlia." The package contained Elizabeth Short's birth certificate, social security card, and address book. The killer, it seemed, was toying with the police, reveling in the terror he had unleashed. The letter, later determined to be authentic, ignited a media firestorm. The killer, now dubbed the Avenger of the Black Dahlia, became a boogeyman, a phantom haunting the dreams of the city. The police, under immense pressure to solve the case, chased down every lead, no matter how improbable. They interrogated countless suspects, from spurned lovers to underworld figures, but each lead ended in a dead end. The killer, a master of deception, seemed to have vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of false hope and shattered expectations. The Black Dahlia case, once a beacon of hope for justice, was becoming a symbol of the city's dark underbelly. Decades have passed since that chilling January morning in 1947. The city of Los Angeles awoke to a gruesome discovery that would forever be etched into its history. The brutal murder of Elizabeth Short, who would come to be known as the Black Dahlia, sent shockwaves through the community and captivated the nation. Newspapers splashed the grisly details across their front pages, and the public was both horrified and fascinated by the macabre nature of the crime. The Black Dahlia case, once a sensation that gripped the nation, has faded into the annals of unsolved crimes. Despite numerous theories and countless hours of investigation, the identity of Elizabeth Short's killer remains a mystery. The case has inspired books, movies, and endless speculation, but the truth continues to elude even the most determined sleuths. But the mystery lingers, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most glamorous city. Los Angeles, with its glitz and glamour, has always had a darker side, a place where dreams can turn into nightmares. The Black Dahlia case is a stark reminder of this duality, a tale of beauty and horror intertwined. Will the Black Dahlia case ever be solved? Detectives, both past and present, have pored over the evidence, hoping to find that one clue that could crack the case wide open. Theories have ranged from the plausible to the outlandish, but none have provided the definitive answer. The case remains a puzzle, with pieces that refuse to fit together. Will the killer, hidden in the shadows for so long, finally be brought to justice? The passage of time has not dimmed the desire for answers. Each new generation of investigators brings fresh eyes and new techniques, but the elusive truth remains just out of reach. The shadowy figure responsible for this heinous act continues to evade capture, a ghost in the annals of crime history. Or will Elizabeth Short's murder forever remain a chilling reminder of the evil that men do, a mystery that time itself cannot unravel? Her story is a tragic one, a young woman with dreams of stardom, cut down in the prime of her life. The brutality of her murder and the subsequent media frenzy have ensured that her name will never be forgotten, even if her killer's identity remains unknown. The answers, lost to the passage of time, continue to haunt the dreams of those who dare to seek the truth. The Black Dahlia case is more than just an unsolved murder. It is a symbol of the enduring quest for justice and the human desire to uncover the truth, no matter how deeply it may be buried. As long as there are those who remember Elizabeth Short, the search for answers will continue, driven by the hope that one day, the mystery will finally be solved. For more stories like this, please like and subscribe to Oblivion Unlocked.